Is a Mini Cooper a family car? Not really the first car that springs to mind, is it? But my friend is considering one because her family is just her and her son. So the family thing is relative. Could it also work as a second runaround car? You betcha. I'm in the Mini Cooper, which is the base model automatic 5-door hatch. It comes in at around $33.5 grand before extras. Pricey for such a small car, but look at it. How can you not love it? I drove it with my family for 7 days to see how it did. The thing about a Mini Cooper, and it's the main thing about a Mini Cooper, is that it just looks so cool. I mean, it's in this fabulous British racing green. It's got the famous outline of the racing stripes on the bonnet. It's still in this incredible original shape, and it's unmistakably a classic car. You've got the best of both worlds. Classic shape, new engine. Inside looks just as awesome. There are fabric seats on this base model here, and we've also got a leather steering wheel which looks and feels awesome. Plus everything from the old school start button to the circular frame around the multimedia screen and all the bits and bobs around the center console makes it feel like you're in more of a cockpit than an actual car, and it just feels so good to drive. You might not think it's going to be the most functional because it looks so cool, but I actually think it is. Everything works quite well. Some people might have issues with the old school speedo at the front here, but you can option in a head-up display, so it is a lot clearer. The only thing I have issues with is that the reverse parking camera is so tiny. The picture in it is so small that everything, you kind of really have to get used to it when you're driving. But by the end of the week, you know what? I was used to it. You still get 2 cup holders up the front, plus a spot to throw your key or a phone, a small storage spot in each of the doors, plus a singular cup holder in the back. But the thing about this storage is that they've been designed so well, they almost look like design features rather than things you use, which is actually how all cup holders should look. There's no denying it's small in here though. I fit perfectly fine, but I'm 161 centimeters and I will fit in most cars pretty easily. My taller husband had a few issues. His legs weren't able to stretch out as long as they normally would. He couldn't put his car seat back to where he wanted because the kids were behind him. But you know what? It didn't actually stop us from getting in this car all week. So he couldn't have been that squashed. And there was plenty of headroom for both of us, even with this fabulous glass roof. The kids had just enough space in the back seat. My 5-year-old fit perfectly fine, but my 7-year-old's legs were a bit squashed, especially when she was seated behind my husband's driving position. She didn't want to sit there, she wanted to sit behind me. The boot is pretty little. I mean, looking at this, you're like, it's probably not going to fit much. But strangely enough, it fits the pram, the big bulky pram, which is excellent because this pram doesn't even fit into a Mazda CX-3. So miraculously, it fits in here. Plus you can actually lift this up for extra storage. All week we were driving around to various beaches, so we had beach bags in here and boogie boards, and we fit perfectly fine. The driving is also really cool in a Mini. I mean, once you get past the size and that you are in a compact car, when I first got in here, I just thought, oh right, the back windscreen is really small, visibility is not great out of it because my kids' car seats come over the top, and then the rear vision mirror is quite small, and we've already talked about how the reversing camera is also small. So once you get past the fact that everything in here is downsized, you can focus on the driving, which is excellent. It handles so well around corners. I really feel like it's actually hugging the road when you go around. So you just have the confidence to go a bit quicker around bends than you normally would. There's a 1.5 litre engine, which is enough for a car this size to get up hills really quickly. You can coast along highways nice and easily, though I did have to think about whether I was sitting in a truck's blind spot or not, because you can feel a little bit invisible in the Mini. It's a particularly fun car to drive, and I really enjoyed myself in the car this week, especially getting into parking spaces. So So every time we went to the beach, I would take the Mini because I just knew that we'd get a car park every time, and we did. I was also doing loads more U-turns, barely any 3-point turns than I would normally. Fuel consumption is a claimed low 5.3 litres for every 100 k's. Safety-wise, you won't get any of that advanced new safety technology like auto emergency braking, rear cross traffic alerts, or blind spot monitoring. You will get 6 airbags plus 2 ISOFIX points and 2 top tether points to fix kids' car seats in. And this Mini Cooper is fitted with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which I actually connected with via Bluetooth this time instead of plugging my phone in. It just means that your main apps from your phone will pop up on the screen, so you can navigate with maps or listen to music on Spotify. You can use voice control to make calls and send texts. Look, if I didn't have to fit 4 of us in here, I would totally be into the Mini Cooper. It looks so fabulous, makes you feel amazing when you drive it. Plus it fits me neatly, and it's such a fun car to drive. But the fact is I do have a family, and they probably weren't as comfortable as I was all week. The kids' legs are a bit squashed, and it doesn't have as much safety as I'd ideally prefer. Plus, I don't think my husband could actually sit in here for very long distances. I gave it a family rating of 7 out of 10. Note that is a family rating, not a rating for general use. My children gave it an 8 out of 10. I love great style and a good colour. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or click through to our website.